house today. Thank you all for coming. Why are we here today? We're here to talk about justice, to talk about climate justice. What is this thing, climate justice? Many of you may not have ever encountered the phrase, but you believe you me, by the end of this year, all of us in this room and millions of people around the world will know exactly what we mean by climate justice. Why by the end of this year? Because in December, in Copenhagen, the successor to the Kyoto Treaty, the Kyoto Protocol, will be hammered out by governments, by scientists, by the world's leaders. And Kofi Annan and the Global Humanitarian Forum is determined to make sure that climate justice is there in Copenhagen, alive and kicking with them. Let us welcome the former UN Secretary General, Kofi Annan, who joins us now live from Geneva. He is going to start off our discussion. Mr. Annan, do we have you with us?
Yes, thank you, Nisha.
We're waiting for the link to kick into place.
I hear you very clearly. Do you hear me?
We have you, the audio link.
Do you hear me?
We hear you loud and clear, Mr. Annan. We're delighted that you've started this process. Now what we're looking for is to see you as well.
They seem to be working on it. You still don't see me?
The system is kicking into life, Mr. Annan.
You are the invisible man.
I thought this happens only in Africa.
Invisible but all powerful, I think.
They're having fun anyway.
So joining us today, we already hear from Archbishop Tutu. He's going to part of our eminent panel. Needs no... The mic is coming and going. Perhaps I should swap right at the beginning.
I think maybe Tutu should start.
So our discussion today will be led by Kofi Annan from Geneva, and we hope that we'll see the whites of his eyes before long. And here in this wonderful chamber, we have Archbishop Emeritus Desmond Tutu, lending his moral authority to this call for climate justice. And perhaps the world's foremost... Mr. Annan, we have you!
Oh, thank you. It worked.
Welcome, sir. You're going to dominate the proceedings and be a beneficial figure over all of us this afternoon. I was just introducing everyone here to the format for today. We have our eminent panelists, you, Archbishop Tutu, and Mary Robinson, perhaps the foremost champion of human rights in the world today, former UN High Commissioner for Human Rights. And of course, we've got all of you at the University of Pretoria. We want to hear from you too and make this a lively debate. And joining us in the online community are thousands of people on avaz.org who have already been looking at some of the ideas that we're going to be discussing and debating today. At the center of our discussion is what is climate justice. And the Global Humanitarian Forum, based in Geneva, has come up with 8 guidelines, 8 essential points that they want you to consider, and they want the world's leaders to understand, adopt, and make their own. So why is this process being launched here in South Africa? Why was the GHF so delighted to accept the invitation from the University of Pretoria and enjoy this beautiful campus that you have, so green and pleasant? Because Kofi Annan and the GHF want the voice of the South to be heard from the very beginning of this process. The voice of the South to lead this process, calling for climate justice.